Welcome back, Zoe, Autumn, Jovi, and anyone else on their crochet journey. Today, like I promised, I am going to show you how to work into the chain. The first thing you'll need, of course, is your hook that you're comfortable with, your yarn that you've chosen that you're comfortable with, and also, well, basically that's it. That's all you need, your hook and your yarn. So let's get started. A little review to recap. You're going to do your slip knot, right? Create your X, create your tracks, go under and over, pull that through and create your slip knot. That should be easy now, right? By now, that should be very easy. Okay, we're gonna tighten that, create our loop in our working area, do our chains. I'll do 10 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, another one of our introductory videos, Introduction to Crochet. This is video 2 of our Introduction to Crochet series. So if you were lost in the first part of the video, go ahead and exit out of this video and go to my first video to see what we did and how to get caught up. All right. Let's get cracking. There are 2 methods to working into the chain. Right here, where our V is, we have this V, like we talk about, like we had discussed in video number 1. That's how we count our chains, right? We look at these V's that the chains create on the top and count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're also going to use these V's to name the parts of our chain. Here we have our front loop. Here we have our back loop. And back here we have something called a ridge. Can you see that? Those little bumps behind our chain, boop, are called ridges. Top of our chain, back of our chain. We have our front loop, we have our back loop, and then we have our ridge. To do our first method, we are going to get our hook and look for the first ridge. Let's see. So here we have our first ridge in the back of our chain right here. We are going to skip that one and we're going to work into the second one from the hook. Here's 1, here's 2. That is the second one away from the hook. Grab your hook. And this is going to be tricky for your little fingers. You're going to have to learn how you're going to hold your project or your work while maneuvering your hook. So again, you're going to have to practice this for a little bit. I like to pinch my work with my ring finger and my thumb, pinch where I'm going to be working, then still holding the yarn with my index finger and my middle finger. And then here I'm maneuvering my hook. So you can even practice this part. Hold, hold, maneuver. Okay? Make sure, do you see the tension I have right here? See how loose that is? You don't want that. You want your yarn to hug your working area. You don't want it to be squeezing too tight where you can't maneuver and move the way you need to move. You just want the yarn to simply hug your working area. Now you're going to get the tip of your hook, the pointer part of your hook, and stick that into the hole. Let me show you real quick. The bridge. Do you see that hole right there? The front of the chain and that bridge create a hole. And that is where you want to put your hook. This hole right here, that's where you want the hook to go. That's where you want the hook to go. The next time you work into the chain, you want to work it right here. Then the next time after that, you're going to want to put it in here in this hole that the chain creates, the back ridge and the front of the chain create. There's another one. I hope I'm not losing you. There's another one. Can you see those holes? So let's go back. We're at the top of our chain. We're going to skip the first ridge, and then we're going to move on to the second ridge. Put your hook into the hole that the back ridge and the front of the chain create. You're going to yarn over. Y'all practice and practice, so this part should be easy. And pull through. Put both of those loops on your working area. Not too tight, not too loose. Then you're going to pull through again for something called a slip stitch. Then we're going to move on to this second ridge. Put your hook through, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on your working area. You're going to grab the second loop, pull it through the first loop, and that is a slip stitch. Look for your next ridge, put the hook in the hole. Then you're going to yarn over, pull it through the hole. You should have 2 loops in your working area right now. Then you're going to pull the second loop through the first loop. That creates another slip stitch. Moving on to your next ridge, this hole right here. The hook is going to go into that hole. Right there. See that? The point of my hook goes in. Yarn over, pull it through, and you now have 2 loops in your working area. Pull the second loop through the first loop, and you have another slip stitch. See what looks like chains on the top that we're creating? Those are your stitches, your new stitches. Find your next ridge, look for your next hole. Right there, between the front of your stitch, the front of your chain, and your back ridge, there's a hole. Put your hook in the hole. When you're done with your row, this is what your work should look like. You should have 9 slip stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 slip stitches in this row. The reason why it's not 10 is because we did 10 chains, but remember in the beginning we skipped the first ridge, which left us with 9 ridges to work with. If we want a total of 10 slip stitches in our row, then that means we need to do 11 chains so that we can skip 1 and have 9 ridges to work with when we're done. This is method number 1. This is working into your chain by using your ridge. See how it looks like chains on the bottom and on top? This is my favorite way to start my projects because it looks so seamless. Let's start method number 2. This time around, I'm going to do 11 chains. so that we can do 10 across in our row. Okay, just a little review. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are doing 11 chains so that we can end up with 10 in our row. To do this one, remember how I told you there's the front loop, the back loop, and the ridge? This method is going to require you to work through the back loop and the ridge. So let's skip this first chain right here and go to the second one. Go under your back loop. Remember, this is your front loop, so go under your back loop right here and look for your ridge in the back. There's my ridge. I'm going to go under my ridge, and I can see a V right here. No, not so much a V, but I do have a loop right here. I'm going to yarn over, pull through that loop, and now I have 2 loops in my working area. Pull the second loop through the first loop, and I just created a slip stitch. Again, here's my back loop, here's my ridge. I'm going to go under both of them, and I'm going to leave my front loop right here. Yarn over, pull through my ridge and my back loop, 2 loops in my working area, and then pull through my first loop. Now I have 2 slip stitches. Go under my back loop and the ridge. See how easy this is? Since I'm not pulling too tight on my work, I'm able to get my hook through nicely. Okay, pull, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops in my working area. I'm going to pull the second loop through my first loop, and there I have another slip stitch. Just continue going under your back loop and your ridge, leaving your front loop in the front, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops in my working area, pull the second loop through the first loop. Back loop, my ridge, when we're done with this, we should end up with 10 slip stitches. Remember, careful with your tension. Look for that back loop, look for that ridge, and go under both of them. Yarn over, pull through, 2 loops in your working area. Pull the second one through the first one, not too much tension. Look for the next back loop and ridge. Yarn over, pull through, 2 loops in your working area, pull the second one through the first one. Look for your back loop and your ridge. Yarn over, pull through, 2 loops, pull the second one through the first one. Now, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 10 slip stitches. And your job here is done. Bing, bang, boom, baby. This is what it looks like when you're done with those 10 slip stitches using the second method. When you're working with the back loop and the ridge. Now go practice both of those and get comfortable with both of them. You're going to end up with a favorite one, but you should still know how to use both. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video there so that it doesn't run on too long and it gives you a chance to practice, but I will come back and show you your next methods of working in your chain. We have 2 more to go on how to work in your chain. Alrighty, before we start your major stitches. Those are your basic stitches are coming up, but you still have 2 more methods on working in your chain. I hope this has been helpful, and I'm Mama Bear for all of you who don't know, with Daily Dash of Life. Mama Bear, Daily Dash of Life. Oh, cut it out. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Toodles.